You are watching Infinite Spacelink. In this video, we are going to be exploring some of the false beliefs astronomers of the past have had that were later scientifically disproven. So the first one would be that the Maria were bodies of water on the moon. Yes, so you have these dark craters on the moon. They are known as the Maria, which means seas in Latin. People believe that they were bodies of water on the moon because they looked a lot like what water would typically look like from a distance, dark and smooth. Lunar samples from the Apollo missions, such as the Apollo 11, brought back evidence that this was in fact not the case, and instead those dark craters were actually remains from ancient volcanic activity. So another would be that all orbits in space were circular. So people saw space as the heavens and that everything in the heavens would be perfect, which would apparently mean all orbits would be perfectly circular. This was, however, not true. Take Pluto's orbit, for example. As you can see, it's not at all circular, or just elliptical. Johannes Kepler discovered that not all orbits in space were circular by meticulous observation and analysis. So third, we have the geocentric universe. People believed in a geocentric universe, which essentially meant that the Earth was the center of our universe and all orbits revolved around the Earth. The reason people originally thought that the Earth was the center of our universe was mainly because of religious purposes and because people noticed changes in the positions of other objects, yet no one felt like they were moving, so they figured it had to be other objects in space moving around the Earth. Obviously, now we know that all planets in our universe revolve around our sun. The main spark that promoted people to consider the Earth not being the center of our universe was due to observations of objects in space having seemingly retrograde motion, essentially not moving directly in a circle, which didn't make sense. So, we also have Pluto being a planet. Right, so in 1930, Pluto was discovered and believed to be a planet. This was changed in 2006 when the definition of a planet was changed. This made Pluto no longer a planet, as it was incapable of attracting debris in the way of its orbit. You can check my channel for videos that go deeper into this topic. People also believe that stars stay in fixed positions. People originally assumed stars to be in fixed positions because of lack in noticeable movement. Advancements in technology helped people come to the conclusion that stars actually orbit around the center of their galaxies. This is caused by gravitational influences from other stars and dark matter. People also believed at one point that spacecraft would not be able to move in space. Since space is a vacuum, meaning it contains little to no matter in it, people believed that this would make it impossible for a spacecraft to move in space, as it would have nothing to push against on. However, this is actually not true, as all spacecraft can simply use the principle of action and reaction, as when thrust is expelled in one direction, it propels in the opposite direction. In fact, the lack of matter in space actually makes it easier for spacecraft to move, as it is there little to no matter to act as resistance upon the spacecraft. People also believe that Earth was the only planet containing a moon. This assumption was mainly arising from religious beliefs and the lack in technology to know otherwise. It was later discovered by Galileo that Jupiter had at least 4 moons that he discovered. In fact, Jupiter actually has 146 known moons today. It makes general sense for other planets to have moons, as it's mainly just due to their gravitational effects. In fact, all the Jovian planets actually have stronger gravitational fields than Earth, which is in fact the third least planet in terms, it has the third least amount of moons out of all our planets in the solar system. So another belief was that planets and stars influence weather and agricultural gainings. So an example of this would be farmers planting crops at times based on planetary alignments. This is quite literally just something with no scientific evidence, and it's just pure superstition. Modern science has generally disproved this, as it suggests more likely explanations for weather patterns. And then, of course, we all know this one, the flat Earth. People mainly just believed it due to their physical view of Earth and lack of understanding in how gravity works. It was actually figured out by ancient astronomers that the Earth wasn't actually flat due to examination from lunar eclipses. A lunar eclipse is when the Earth passes through its moon and the sun, casting a shadow of the Earth upon the moon. This shadow was always round, demonstrating the concept of a spherical Earth. Like, if the Earth was rather disc like, the shadow wouldn't consistently appear to be round. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.